We all have ideas, right? But how do you take a great idea and prove it's actually worth pursuing? Today, we're going to break down how you can turn that spark of inspiration into a solid, financially sound plan that's ready to make a real impact. You know that feeling, that light bulb moment, that what if, that feels like a total game changer. But let's be real, how do you know if it's just a cool thought or a truly viable project? And more importantly, how do you convince others its value before you pour a ton of time, money, and energy into it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out. So here's our roadmap. We're going to follow 5 clear steps. We'll start by connecting our idea to the big picture. Then we'll create a step-by-step action plan. After that, we get into the nitty-gritty, weighing the costs versus the benefits, figuring out the potential return, and finally, seeing how all this data helps us make way smarter decisions. All right, first things first, and this is probably the most important part. A great plan doesn't just start with an idea, it starts with a clear goal. What are you actually trying to achieve here? Boost revenue, make things more efficient, keep customers happier? Your idea has to tie directly into that bigger mission. Once you've got that link, then you can build your core strategy, your high-level game plan. A strategy is great, but it's just a dream without a solid plan. So the second step is all about creating the blueprint. This is where we break down that big picture strategy into specific, concrete things we can actually do. This is the moment your idea really starts to take shape. See how it all connects? It's a really logical flow. First, you identify your target. That's your goal. Then, you figure out the general route to get there. That's your core strategy. And finally, you write out the turn-by-turn directions. That's your specific action plan. Every step builds right on top of the last one. It just makes sense. Okay, so you have a plan. Now it's time for a little reality check. Is this blueprint actually buildable? And maybe more importantly, is it going to be worth it? This is where we pull out some tools that help us see if the whole thing is feasible in the real world before we commit to anything. Our first tool is the cost-benefit analysis, or CBA. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a simple balance sheet for your idea. On one side, you list out every single cost you can think of, and on the other, you list every single benefit. The whole point is to weigh the pros and cons in a really systematic way. And here's something that's absolutely critical to remember. Costs and benefits are not just about dollars and cents. Of course, you've got hard costs like new software or materials, but you also have huge benefits that are harder to measure, like a big boost in team morale or happier customers. A really good CBA tries to account for all of it. Let's look at a quick example. Say you want to start a new delivery service. The costs are pretty clear, right? The vehicle, the software, paying the driver. The benefits are the new money coming in and maybe time saved somewhere else. When you subtract the total costs from the total benefits, boom, you get your net benefit. It gives you a really clear number-based answer to the question, is this going to be worth it? So, knowing a project has a positive benefit is great, but what if you have, say, 3 different projects and they all have positive benefits? How do you choose the best one? To really compare them and understand profitability, we need one more tool. Step 4 is all about measuring how efficiently you're using your investment. And that tool is called Return on Investment, or ROI. It answers one really simple, direct question. For every single dollar we put into this thing, what are we going to get back in profit? It is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful ways to figure out if an idea is a financial winner. Now, the formula might look a little mathy, but it's actually super straightforward. You just take that net benefit we figured out from our CBA, that's your net profit here, and you divide it by the total cost of the investment. Then you're just multiplied by 100 to get a percentage. That number you're left with, that's your ROI. So what does a number like this actually mean? Well, an ROI of 150% isn't just good, it's incredible. It means for every single dollar you invested, you got that dollar back, plus an extra $1.50 in pure profit. It's a crystal clear sign that you've got a winning investment on your hands. And all of this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, actually making the decision. This whole process, from setting that initial goal all the way to calculating ROI, it wasn't just some homework assignment. It was all about building a solid, data-backed case so that you can move from just analyzing to taking action with complete confidence. So let's just recap the key takeaways here. You always start with a clear goal. Use that to build a specific action plan. Then you put that plan to the test with a cost-benefit analysis and measure its potential with ROI. If you follow these steps, you can be sure your final decision isn't based on a hunch, but on solid evidence. At the end of the day, this whole framework is about swapping guesswork for confidence. It gives you the power to really champion the best ideas and know which ones to put on the back burner. So, the question I want to leave you with is this: what's the next big decision you're facing? And how can you use these tools to prove its potential?